Menzoberranzan. Yeah, so this is a box set that came out, I think, like in 92 ish. I think. I'm kind of going from the top of my head. But it's that city of Drow that Drizzt is from. And this box set had a ton of stuff. And my friends and I, we used it quite a bit. But we didn't, well, I take that back. We did use the house book and the city book. We didn't really run the adventures, though, because we just house homebrewed everything. Excuse me. But it's pretty cool. I mean, you've got a breakdown of the city here. Drow Justice was one of my favorite chapters in here. Somewhere in here there's a chapter on how they, oh, here we go. Yeah, how they met out justice. But when I ran this for my group, they had to infiltrate the city, and they disguised themselves as drow. But one of the party members was an orc, and she didn't want to have to disguise herself, so she was going to be like, well, an orc will fit in there. And so there was, after much discussion, everyone decided, oh, whatever, we'll just go for it. So the party approaches the city gates, and the guards there are taking names and basically, papers, please. And everyone starts giving aliases. Well, when it came to their sorcerer, it was a wizard. He came to the wizard. He panicked. He's just like, my name's Dr. X. Dr. X. And everyone was like, oh, that name's not going to fly. So he knew he needed some cred, like street cred right away. And so he turned to the orc and he says, and this is my slave, Brunhilde. And so with that cover set, there was like nothing that either any of them could do. This was permanently a slave, and they had these rules about branding slaves in the city and shackling them and stuff. So he had to brand the orc a slave. It was pretty funny at the time, and it's still something that the player played the orc laughs about to this day. She just Sean branded me, and it was pretty funny. In any case, Menzoberranzan, great box set for Drow City. You got all the different houses, both greater and lesser houses, and of course all of their different schemings and whatnot that take place. Every house is trying to climb that ladder. The only thing I didn't like about it was that the city map was 4 giant posters. So these cards right here went to the actual adventure. So you had some pull-out cards for some of the dungeons for the adventure and stuff. And then you had NPCs. Who's this? This is Matron Mother Kiwillis Milithor. So she was one of the matrons of many. But the city map is 4 of these giant posters. So if you are a DM, you need a lot of space to run this thing. And back in 92, you couldn't just scan it in or find a smaller version. But you could see the key itself was bigger than some of these pieces of cardstock. But in any case, so this section is just this right here, this quarter of the map, just that small area there. The map wasn't too detailed, but we did have the temple to Loth on this one. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you want to hang it up on your wall while you're running the adventure, if you had a dedicated game room, that would work. But yeah, it's very, very tough to deal with. This was kind of cool. The first house of Menzoberranzan. They have this really cool artistic rendering of the preeminent house in the city, which I thought was really darn cool. And I always really liked how in the Underdark they would put the stalagmites, the stalactites to work, creating homes and dwellings and towers and slave pits and all manner of horrible prisons and whatnot. Here's a couple more of the maps. But it also came with a big old poster of the cover, which is pretty cool. Not too cool, not too shabby. And another poster. The box sets will love their posters. Another poster that showed the rankings of all the different houses in the city and who was allied with who, and it was literally this big spider web. So it's just kind of cool. Because different houses were allied with different ones. Different houses were at war with different ones. And this was supposed to help you make sense of that all. Which it sort of did. Because all the different house symbols and so forth meant different things. So, yeah, down here, allies and rivals. So, this house is a rival of that house. This house. These are all the lesser houses. But it's pretty neat. Yeah. Pretty cool. I just loved the memories that we had delving into this place and the silly things that my party would do to try to navigate the city. Some pretty clever moves and some not so clever moves. Dr. X and his slave Brunhilde. That was pretty funny. Anyway, happy gaming, folks. And as always, be heroic.